You think I'm in trouble. For all of you smart, rich people, VIPs, you gave your cars to those guys outside. We don't have valet tonight. I'll tell you, after 17 years being here at the Chevra, I'm starting to feel like Moses. Suicidal. I asked the board, could you please, after all these years, could you give the rabbi and his family health insurance? Just a simple thing, health insurance. So they met for 3 days. They concluded. And they said, Rabbi, we got it for you. They bought me a mezuzah. Invoking the priestly blessings, may God bless you and protect you. I turned to Jerry Sherman. Where's Jerry, our executive director? Give a big hand for Jerry. I said, Jerry, is there at least a dental plan? He says, yes. I said, what is it? He says, chew on the other side. That's what. It's sickening here. We had a mile came the other day. You know what a mile is? You shouldn't know. He came in, I never saw this mile before. He introduced himself to me, he shook his hand. My name is Yaakov Jitters. What kind of name? I mean, the mother passed out. She had a panic attack. Before the ceremony started, we rushed her to the hospital. We started with the bracha, with the baby, opened up the pamper, we started, and he's shaking. And it was the first time ever a baby boy ran out of his own bris. You know, Pesach is a holiday of family. We bring our parents in, we bring our in-laws in, the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, the shver, the shviger. It's a disaster. Every year it's a disaster. Spend hours consoling and counseling families, the fights that take place at a Seder, it's just horrible. I tell people, you know, just don't invite the mother-in-law. That's it. My mother-in-law is a real tzaddik. She speaks 150 words a minute with gusts up to 180. I came back yesterday from a joyride. I took my mother-in-law to the airport. All right. Anyway, you know what? I want you to know one thing. I don't know if you've noticed this. All right. It's not so hard. I really don't know if you noticed this. Me as a rabbi here in the synagogue, I stopped the whole dancing around political correctness, walking on my tippy toes, on eggshells. You're right, you're also right. I stopped that. 2 years ago, I decided people want to hear the truth. They want to know who's right, who's wrong, who's moral, who's immoral. They just want that clarity. And it's worked. We lost 30% of our members, but it's still working. It's working beautifully. The board came to me and they said, Rabbi, for the first time, we have 100% participation of our members. 100%. I said, how's that? They said, 50% love you, the other 50% are doing everything in their power to destroy you, but everyone's engaged. There were 2 mother-in-laws. Future mother-in-laws fighting over this wonderful fellow. I know this fellow, good guy. Each one was claiming him for themselves, for their daughters. So they came to me to sort it out. So I said to them, let me hear your arguments. And they both had equally powerful, compelling arguments. So using the wisdom of Solomon, I said, we're going to take this future son-in-law and cut him in half. You'll get one half, you'll get the other half. So the first lady says, I like that rabbi, let's cut him in half. And the second mother-in-law says, no, I don't want to hurt him. Let the other one have him. So I made my psak. I said, the one who wants to cut him in half gets the son-in-law. They said, why? I said, she proved herself to be the true mother-in-law. You know, but today's kids, they think they're going to treat the shver and shviger differently. They're going to be, you know, that progressive new age. They take their mother-in-laws out for lunch. Meshiga. What are you, crazy? I always tell the people that I'm marrying off, keep a respectful, safe distance. So this guy, Brian, I married him off a few years ago. He said, Rabbi, thank you for the advice, but I got this covered. He decided he's going to be his mother-in-law's best friend. Takes her for lunch, for dinner, they see movies together. She walks into his home the first time, and he tells her, my home is your home. And she sold it. You gotta listen to the rabbi. I accompanied a mother the other day to visit her son in jail. Something I gotta do. Go to jail. I gotta do a lot of that here in this show. They know me there at Avi Barasa. They're all the time. Anyway, she was afraid to go herself, so I accompanied her. We're sitting in the waiting room, and she looks at her son, Yankel, and she looks at him with such love, and she says, Yankel, while you're here, please don't hang around with the bad guys. I'm looking at this, I'm saying, are you in denial? Total denial. I want you to know, friends, one of the biggest mistakes we make as parents is when we come to that moment in the Haggadah, and we say the wise son, the wicked son, the stupid son, the she'eni de Elisha. If you're the father, never look up. Never look up at your kids at that time. You're going to destroy their lives. I have to suffer with that. They sit with me for years. This guy Shimshi, every time his father said the wicked son, a little glimpse up, just for a second, just looked at him, Shimshi. Today, he's out. You know what? You tell your kids, it's over. It's finished. Poor Shimshi, he sees psychiatrists every day. The psychiatrist gave him sleeping pills. He asks her, when do I take it? She says to him, whenever you wake up, just take more. Nobody likes Shimshi. I saw him at a party. Even the Surgeon General gave him a cigarette. Could you imagine? And our shul, on his birthday, we honored him by uprooting a tree in Israel. I mean, Shimshi is somebody that nobody wants to be a part of. Please, just don't look at your kid when you say wicked, stupid, doesn't know. Keep your head in the Haggadah. Guys, just listen to me. I'm telling you. There's no greater wisdom than experience. I've been there, I've seen it, I've done it. I know it. I have to tell you, we're one of the most generous congregations in the city of Montreal. Give yourself a round of applause. There's nobody. There's one guy that touches me every year. He stands up and he offers $50,000 every year to the wife of the unknown soldier. Every year he does that. Oh, that just went right over everyone's head. I got the same response when I was looking in the mirror practicing. You don't know this, but the schnorrers, they don't go to your house. Maybe some of them. Because you send them all to my home. Sickos. Well, you do that. And every day we have people coming, asking in my home for money. My kids know this. Every week there's one guy that comes for $20 for dinner. I need $20 for dinner. I give him $20. One week he comes, I need $40 for dinner. I said, why 40? He says, I have a date tonight. Anyway, one week I decided, that's it, Zehu, no more. You know, the ones who ask for tzedakah in the Jewish community, they give you guilt, like a rabbi does, in your kishkes. So I told him, no more. You can't come every week. So he closes his eyes, he walks out, and on his way out, he takes his teeth out, he puts it in my hand, and he says, I won't need these tonight. It's criminal what they do to you. It's sickening. You know, the hardest part of being a rabbi is doing funerals. Very, very difficult. And everybody thinks a rabbi's a 9-to-5 job. I got a call a few years ago, 2 in the morning. 2 in the morning. You people, you don't let me live. 2 in the morning. 2 a.m. What happened? He was caught with a megala. How do you say it? A kurva. Who said that? Who knew the term? Nebuch, he was caught. I go down, I go to station 26. They know me there too. I'm there every month. The captain says, Rabbi, what are you preaching? I'm there all the time, bailing out these guys. They're caught with this one, caught with that one. Anyway, he calls me, because who is he going to call? His wife? He's going to call his brother-in-law that's going to blackmail him? Who? You call your rabbi who you trust. Because I would never disclose his name. He's in the lighting business, but his mother's name is Chava, but the point is, I go down there, I bail him out, I put it on my credit card, at least I get points, take him home, put him in my car, and I say to him, Moshe, I say to him, how could you do this to your wife? How do you do this to your wife? And he says, Rabbi, you haven't seen my wife in a few years. He pulls out his wallet and he shows me a picture. And I understood him. I mean, a little bit I understood. Anyway, it's 4 in the morning now. I'm in front of his home. I'm dropping him off at the home. We have a whole talk about philosophy and history and morality. And he kind of looks at me and he says, Rabbi, thank you so much. You really saved my life. And you gave up your whole night. It's 4 in the morning. I just want you to know, you remember that $180 pledge I gave to you on Yom Kippur? Tomorrow I'm going to make good on it. Sickening, telling you. Very hard. People ask me, we had a big campaign a few years ago. It was a capital campaign. And thank God I was, with the blessing of God, able to raise $4 million. Could you imagine? Give me a round of applause. $4 million. And people ask me, what did you do? Did you use guilt? I said, chas v'shalom. I don't believe in that. You don't use guilt. As a rabbi, I believe that's an assault on someone's dignity. So what did you do? I used blackmail. I know so much. It's unbelievable. So I'm doing this funeral. Nebuch, it was a tragedy. It was a Montreal. This happened 25 years ago. This guy did something really bad in Texas. And really bad. Something that a Jew doesn't do. He killed someone. And he was on death row. And in Texas, they put, still today, the electric chair. Put him on the electric chair and they killed him. They killed him. The family calls me. And they don't want to meet with me. They don't want to discuss eulogy. They're so embarrassed. They said, Rabbi, we trust you. Just make him look good. Make him look good. Shit. Nobody from the family's talking. There's 1,000 people at Paperman. No one knows even the story, what happened. It's quiet, shash still. Just a young man in his late 50s. So I got up there. His name was Marvin. And I had to do a short eulogy, so this is what I said. You have to be creative when you're a rabbi. You can't say the truth, but you can't lie too. So I said, friends, Marvin occupied a chair in applied electronics in a very important government institution. He was attached to his position by the strongest of ties. And his death came as a real shock. I just want to, just a few years ago, I was, many of you know the name, I won't say it, but it was also a tragedy. It's the toughest things for rabbis, to try to make somebody. Anyway, it was a beautiful eulogy. The family spoke beautifully, and we finally come to the burial site, and it's usually the most difficult place. And we lower the casket. And the son of the deceased comes over to me and says, Rabbi, how much do we owe you? What's your honorarium? And I'm thinking, it's not the place, it's not the time. But he says, no, I want to settle it now. So I told him at the time it was $250 for an honorarium for a rabbi to do a funeral. You know, you can't judge people at that moment, you never know. So he takes out his wallet, no envelope, just 100, 200, and then all he has is a third 100. And we kind of lock eyes. And he says, you happen to have change? Or I told you, I'm suicidal. So I'm looking at him, but still you have to hold yourself back from the judge. So you got to go along with it sometimes. So I pull out my wallet. And they're throwing earth, they're shoveling everybody, the whole community, mevenk, meklukt, and we're changing money over here. Just picture this. And the mother is throwing and crying, and I'm going, exchanging in dollars. So I take out my wallet, and I have 120, another 20, and a third 20. And I lock eyes with him. He's not budging. So I turn to the crowd and I say, anybody? Friends, I hope you had a good night tonight, and I really enjoyed this. I hope you had fun, but I have to say, it's the middle of Pesach, and on a serious note, I just really want to say how grateful I've reached out to so many of you throughout the years, and you've reached out to me and my family in return. And I have to say, it's just a privilege and an honor. So if, in any chance, by any way, if I offended anyone here tonight because I didn't mention you in my repertoire, or if I did mention your name and I said it and I shouldn't have, if I offended anybody truly from the bottom of my heart, too bad. Chag Sameach, everyone.